Chernobyl has 4 reactors, all running at the same time. Reactor number 4 is the newest, only 3 years old. The reactors work like giant steam engines. Their uranium fuel rods heat water. The steam they produce drives turbines. And that's how they generate power. When everything works right, the benefits are enormous. Just 2 pounds of uranium produces the same amount of energy as more than 3,300 tons of coal. But using uranium to produce energy is a balancing act that requires top-tier engineering. On this night, Boris and Yuri work the late shift, starting at midnight. They're relatively young, but are fully qualified to be working in such a complex environment. They arrive half an hour early.
This is so the staff can examine the switches and readings left by the previous shift, as well as the general condition of the plant.
But tonight will be different. As the midnight shift gathers, they're in for a surprise. Their supervisors order them to perform a safety drill. It's crucial for a nuclear power plant to pump cooling water around the reactor. At Chernobyl, the electricity to run the water pumps comes from its turbines, which in turn are powered by the reactor. It's a perpetual cycle of energy production. But if something goes wrong, it could lead to a nuclear disaster. Tonight's drill is to find out if the plant can keep running until backup generators kick in during an emergency. Earlier attempts to run this test have been inconclusive.
It meant some extra work, but it wasn't complex.
The water that cools the reactors comes from a canal running alongside the plant. It's a magnet for local fishermen. Tonight, Pyotr Tolstakov is fishing with a friend.
We thought we could fish for a little while. The weather was wonderful and we caught some.
Tolstakov has a ringside seat at reactor number 4. Midnight, the night shift begins. Yuri Karnaev heads to the turbine hall.
I examined the turbine and studied the readings. We had a cup of tea and were waiting for an order to start the test.
Boris Stolarchuk is in the control room, about 1,000 feet from the reactor. He's joined by 27-year-old Leonid Toptonov, who controls the reactor. They are about to begin a very complex balancing act.